One of the things that almost happened with was Luciano Acosta, who at FC Cincinnati was trying to force his way out in preseason, right? He's trying to get himself to move over, and instead of moving to a South American team or European team, he ended up going to FC Dallas. And I thought it was pretty clear that he didn't want to be in MLS anymore. He was trying to go down. And then, wouldn't you know it, Fluminense come down, the same team that Santi Moreno just moved to, and was like, hey, we'll take you. Now, a lot less drama is the term I'll use, a lot less drama on this one. They get a deal in the region of 4 mil plus add-ons. Dallas gets a DP spot. Acosta goes back home. I guess my question is, what the heck happened in Dallas? Because this guy was an MLS MVP candidate, and then he goes to Dallas, and like we've spoken about, was kind of just fluttering out at the end. What the heck?
Yeah, he was, dare I say, abysmal in Dallas. Like a significant drop off, like crazy, crazy drop off level. Maybe that was a sign that he was a product of the FCC system. I don't know. I mean, it's not like he's had seasons when he was in DC where his numbers weren't exactly jumping off the board. It was really only one season where he had massive numbers for DC. And then he went to Cincinnati and he really lit it up. But maybe he was just a product in that Cincinnati system. Maybe once he left the system, it kind of exposed him a bit more. That's not to say he's not a good, obviously he's a good player. I think I had him like second in my top 10 attacking mids in like history or top five,
Yeah,
maybe
you
not
did.
second.
You
Settle
overhyped
down.
him for sure.
But I'm sure it was not difficult for Dallas in that case to collect some money on him and move him on and find a designated player that's going to fit the system better. So maybe it's a sign of, not necessarily just going for anybody that has talent, but making sure that the guy fits the system you're playing.
Yeah, and the thing that gets me is at the time he was the biggest cash for player trade in MLS in the very short lifespan of it, right? So you spend all this money to buy somebody from within the league, and now you have to take a hit on his transfer away. It is kind of one of the things, and one of the reasons I want to talk about this was the idea that you've got you've got an idea behind the oh, how do I put this nicely? Like the heirs of Liga MX, if you will, right? Where people are just buying players for too much money in the league, they overvalue them, and then you either need to take a hit or let him leave for free, or just keep moving him around the league, right? And because MLS has this reputation of being a buy and sell league, people, if you don't get sold out the league, are going to be very upset with you. So you can't just go to League and be like, oh, I'll play for Club America, then for Tigres, and for Pumas, and blah 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 blah. Like if you go from Cincinnati to Dallas when you were supposed to go from Cincinnati to PSG, right? Going with the Acosta lore, you're going to be upset about it. So it's one of those errors that you're not going to be able to make this work where Liga MX is paying $15 million for players in their own league. It's just not going to work that way. You have to balance that out somehow. So I'm really interested to see how this shakes up the cash for player market, right? Are people going to stop dropping all this money on somebody who within a year they're going to have to take a 50% hit on?
No, it's a great point. I mean, I think it's a really good point of pointing out that this is a good example of, as you said, teams potentially spending way too much money without properly doing enough homework and heading into bad territory of bad spending. But I think right now it's a good introduction that it's in a more controlled environment that you're not just going to blow it out of the water and have a NASL part two.
Right, right. Well, and again, it's still controlled. It's still, central to the league, so it's not that out of the question. But yeah, it's a fall from grace for Luciano Acosta, which is heartbreaking, really, because he was so good at Cincinnati. But I think that does speak to Dallas has a little bit more of their issues than anything else. But yeah, very interested to see how that impacts